Alrighty, so in this video, I'm going to show you what I call the Bill Evans approach to playing the melody to Autumn Leaves. It's a little different because the other version, the French version, there was this sort of rump, 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 rump kind of quarter note thumping underneath the melody. This is going to be a little piece of melody and then a more melodic kind of bass line fill-in. And that's the kind of thing Bill Evans got into with his group. We're going to start out with the melody just on the E string. Now, I like doing that. I think I usually do that 2-4 on these melody notes. And then I slide the fourth finger up to the 8th fret. And then you're going to go open A, E flat, and then the D string. Okay. Next, you're going to come second finger, slide the second finger down, slide that down, or you can do 1 and 3. Then, second, third, and fourth string. And then you're going to do a scale going up on the low E string as those notes ring. Then to transfer open D string, then you're going to shift. So we're getting the bass. Here's what all that sounds like in time. Now I'm doing a slightly different rhythm on this melody. Go, bam, bam, bam. Bam. Okay, but you can do whatever you want with this. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Those are the first 4 measures. Okay, let's go on to measures 5 through 8 of the Bill Evans approach. All right. All righty, we're back. And in this video, I'm going to show you bars 5 through 8 of the Bill Evans version sort of idea. But first, I'd like to show you a little fingering variation on the melody we did in the last video. I forgot to mention it. We started the melody out like this. But if you want something that rings a little bit more, you could go... See what I'm doing? I'm up on the 7th fret, and then that's open, E string, then if that's the approach that you want. And then you can hold both those. Okay? So we ended with... And now what I like to do is I slide my 4th finger all the way up the B string, and I play, except I like playing the chord first and then the bass note. So brown, and then the bass. Stop there for a sec. Let's play the whole intro up until that point, okay? Sorry, I left that walk up out. One more time. Now let's keep going. It's just like what we did in the rubato intro. Bar the second fret. I usually like going up there. And then okay. So that last little piece is very similar to what we did on the French version. This is okay. Now, that's the sort of more contrapuntal approach where the bass and the melody are having a little bit of a conversation. Quite different in character from We're going to do one more video where I'm going to show you how to end the A section, okay? But I'm also going to show you, if you lean more in a jazz direction, I'm going to show you some very cool chord substitutions that you could also do on this A section. I'm going to show you what I do. I'll show you a world of possibilities, and that's coming in the next video. So that's it for this video. That was bars 5 through 8 of the Bill Evans, and let's go to the next video. All right. All righty. So we're back, and I'm going to show you what I call the Miles Davis changes, chord changes. And these might sound very foreign and outer space to you at first, but it's kind of a cool sound. I believe that these changes are on the record, which is called Something Else, with Cannonball Adderley, one of the great saxophone players. He plays on that, and it's Miles's regular group as well. Okay, so first, let me show you the simple version of this that I like to personally do, because I don't usually make things too jazzy when I play. So let's say we've got, I'm gonna play, but when I get to the ba 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 ba, where we do the G major, I'm gonna do something different. I'm going to play a different chord there. That's called a chord substitution. So here we go, nice and slow. Ooh, did you see that? A flat minor, and then to D flat 7, and then I like to sometimes do, I'll strum a chord like that there. Bar the 7th fret. So I'll do that to kind of punctuate things a little bit. And then proceed. See that? So I just kept kind of going with the arrangement. You can either strum down with a pick, which I've just recently started experimenting with a thumb pick, but you can also do it with the 3rd finger. I recommend coming down from the melody note because the listener's ear is following that. So ba 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 wah, and it's kind of nice to have that melody be real clear and then the chord fill in under it. Okay, so allow me to show you how this is going to end. We're here. Now, instead of the melody going ba ba bum ba, we're going to go of red. Go to the 3rd fret, bar, top 2 strings. Don't hit the 4th string, it won't sound good. Bring that whole chord down and then switch to the 2nd finger. And there, you can do either E minor or E minor 6. I like the E minor 6. That color. Okay, and then I like to do something to just punctuate the end of it a little bit. Okay. And then open strings, but I do the open string short. I'm going to do this for you now. I'm going to play this second A section with this one little substitute change, just so you can see it go by. And then after that, I'm going to show you a few more chord substitutions that you can play around with if you like. Okay. So here's what I tend to do on the second A section. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. Now, what Miles Davis does, he or somebody in the band discovered that if you do these chords, let's go chromatically. Watch this. This is a crazy mathematical thing. If you go to the 6th fret and play a B flat minor bar chord, and then, so B flat, E flat, I'm kind of doing an E flat sus, and go down 1 fret at a time, it works with the melody, and it sounds like we're off in jazz harmony outer space. So it's kind of a cool sound, which I will attempt to demonstrate for you. It's easier to appreciate this kind of fancy substitutions when there's a piano in there. Somehow the harmony rings a little clearer, but I'll do my best. See? So let's go nice and slow. It really starts unexpectedly. Then we're home. Okay? So that, when that comes, when you're not expecting it, those autumn, the ear is expecting to hear those autumn leaves, and then we hear, huh? So I'm going to do the first A section, and then the second one, I'll throw in the Miles Davis substitution so you can get the effect of how cool but strange changes like this can sound. So first A section. Now Miles. So that's what all of the substitutions sound like. Personally, I'm kind of not doing that these days. I just do the one. I just do that one to throw a little bit of color in without getting too far away. But the choice is yours. It can all work. I wouldn't do it on the first A section because we want to establish the sound of the harmony in the listener's ear. So once again, I'm just going to play how we end this because the melody is different. Ba 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 ba. Okay. Okay. So here we go, one more time. Last A section. Or not the last A section, but the second A section. Okay. Alrighty, so let's go on now to the bridge, which is very similar to the rubato intro that we started out with, the real long video at the beginning. All right. All righty, so we are on the B section of the tune right now, which is going to be very similar to the rubato intro that we did right after the cascading harmonics. And so here's my approach. I'm going to show these fingerings to you slowly, but they'll make more sense when we put the groove on it. We're in fourth position, and I do hammer. So that's a kind of a quick melody move. If you can't do that, you can just go like this. Bum, bum, bum. We need those two notes because we're going to go there. But I like doing that. So depending on where your left hand is at, those are your options. And then I do F sharp, minor 7 flat 5. I'll do something. The melody is actually ba 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 ba, but I go. It sounds close enough to the melody. You can do any kind of rhythmic variation on this that's comfortable. And if this thumb business is not comfortable, then do it like this. Sorry, don't mean to give you the finger, everybody, but sometimes you have to. And you could also do, if you want, keep the melody intact. That's perfectly fine. Go to a B7. And then I do just a straight up C chord. All right, and then this figure that we've seen. I do that quite often in this piece. All right, then. So once again, just like the intro. And again, this is just muting the low E. Okay, so that's the first 4 bars. Alrighty, so let's one more time just give this a listen. It's the first 4 bars of the bridge. 1, 2, ready, and Okay, that D is coming in the next video. That's the shape that you need. Alrighty, let's go on to bars 5 through 8 of the B section. All right. Alrighty, we are at bars 5 through 8 now of the B section. We ended on this A minor chord. Now the original melody is bom, 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 but I usually do something like, okay, to arpeggiate the chord, even though it's not the literal melody. Then slide up to 7th position, and if you leave all the fingers except the second one down, you're already on the right strings. The chord that I use here is then, so that's a bum, bum, and then I'll add that on the G string. And I like to, however I'm choosing to pluck it with whatever tool over here. Today it's a thumb pick, but I usually do fingers top 2 strings and then that string separate. So, like that. See how that last note was separate? And then I'll bring this down. So we've got this inner line going. That's the note when we play the harmonic. So. When I do that walking scale up, I will actually, I'll end the note C natural with a sharp kind of an attack. So that might have been a little misleading what I just played. It'll be like, because we need that melody coming in the next time. After C, we've got to go slide, right? And then we've got this chord where we bar. Okay, so this is sort of like a tightened up version of what we did on the rubato intro. So let's do the whole B section up to this point, just so you can see everything go by. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, bum, bum. I actually don't hammer them. I don't hammer that. Play it like that with the right hand attack. Alrighty, let's go to the next video where I show you bars 9 through 13 of the B section. All right. Alrighty. We are back, and this is going to be bars 9 through 13 of the B section of the song. Okay, we left off here, barring at the 7th fret with those two, first string and 3rd string, and we're going to do, then we're going to come down, bar the third finger on the 5th fret. Okay, all chord shapes you've seen. Now watch. Miss you most of all my. So. Okay. Now watch this. We're going to have to do 4 chords. My darling, under the word darling, ba ba bong bong bong. And what I like to do is I want to hold that melody note as long as I possibly can while the chords change under it. So this is a kind of a tricky little thing. We're going to go going to play the bass in the melody. You can let that bass ring, and with the index and middle finger here, you're going to play those two notes, right? And then while that's still ringing, we're going to switch to, see, ba, ba. That's where our ear is going on the inner melody. Next, hold that, and now bar. It's not exactly perfect voice leading if you were to write that on paper. Meaning it's not exactly theoretically correct, but it enables us to hold that melody note just a little bit longer, and our ear gets pulled to that melody. So. Sorry, I didn't play the first chord there because I did that melody note twice. One more time. I miss you most of all. See how I did those syncopations? I went boom, bat, boom, bat. Let me sing that one more time. Back, boom, bat, boom, bat. The reason I break up the rhythm there rather than just going is because it gives us the illusion that there's more going on, just to break the rhythm up. So I'm really thinking top, middle, bottom there. Top is ringing, then bottom, middle, bottom, middle, bottom, middle. When we're done with that syncopated thing, we're going to let go. And we're going to play a C sharp 7, sharp 9, with the top two strings open. Okay. And then, we're going to bar here. It's like a C major 7, except I leave the, for those of you who know C major 7, you know it's that. I don't play the pinky, so technically it's an add 9. Let's just do this section really slow. This is bars 9 through 13 of the B section. 1, 2, ready, and. The melody is the E. Those autumn leaves, miss you most of all, my darling. Chord. Those. So sometimes I play that E by itself after playing the chord. Sometimes I just play it with the chord. Again, we have wiggle room. Miss you most of all. Okay, so that's how I did it this time, and then. That hammer is not written in right now, but you don't have to do it, but I like doing that. All right, let's go to bars 13 through 16 of the song part of Autumn Leaves. All right. All right, so we are coming to the end of the B section of the tune. This is as far as the song statement. We are at the last 4 bars. In the last video we did miss you most of all, my darling. I'm not really playing darling because I want to get the chord in there. But now we're going to do those. And so now, here we are at the last 4 bars. Those autumn. Now, again, it's our F sharp minor 7, flat 5. You only need the top 3. If you don't want to do thumb over the top, you can do it like that. Okay. And then I'll usually just do like a, keep it simple there. And then another. Okay. You could even go. that's comfortable for you to do. So those autumn leaves start to fall. Okay? So it'll sound like this. As you start to see, there's kind of a little vocabulary going of the way I'm getting around the chords and melody for this song. So one more time, last 4 bars. We're coming off this chord, the C#7 chord. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is play one time through the B section for you, nice and slow, so you can hear all what's in these last couple of videos strung together. Here is the B section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so now that's the tune up until now. We're going to go on to another chorus of the tune where I'm going to show you how I do sort of a quasi-improvised big band solo type thing over these chord changes. All right. All righty. Now we are at the solo section, which is basically going to be one more time through the whole tune, Autumn Leaves, but with some improvised stuff instead of the melody, or quasi-improvised. Now for this sound, I have some very tight figures with chords and arpeggios, but they're very regular. So I'm imagining this sound as sort of a big band type sound. I'd like to play it for you once, and then I'll break it down slowly for you. We're going to do the first 8 bars. So this is the first A section. Okay, I'm going to take it from the end of the autumn leaves. Here we go. Okay, and that would put us at the next A section. So I'm going to break that little development kind of thing down for you. Okay, the main thing that you got to get is the rhythm, actually. So those autumn leaves start. 1, 2, 3, bang, bang. That's the first thing. Let's look at the chords. Now you're going to play what looks like some people would call that a diminished chord. It's actually E7 flat 9. Again, the 4th string is just a safety because I'm over here on the right hand, I'm playing thumb and 3 fingers up top. Okay. And then down here, those are the main notes. Looks like for the tabs, I wrote this note in, but it really doesn't matter. You can, if you like that one. Again, we're just doing it to not have an open D string. So, ba, ba. Okay, 1, 2, 3, bang, bang. That's the rhythm. Now, the arpeggio. We're going to go up this A minor 9 chord, and the most important thing is that you hammer this. Because it's got to sound like ba ba bow ba do ba bow, that bow. And then the rest of it, I'd like you to experiment with different right hand fingerings to see what technique works best for you. The melodic idea is this. Let me do that slowly. Okay, and you'll notice I have a little trill written in here if you can get it. Okay. In time, it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. The trill is optional. Okay. Next set of changes and melodies, the same rhythm. Here's how I play it. Smush the third finger on the 8th fret, first finger on the 6th fret. That gives us a major 7th chord, and we're going to go. Okay. And then the arpeggio is going to be similar. 3rd fret, hammer on to the 7th, 5th fret, 4th fret, then. Now I have a big reach, and I'm pretty good at this hammering on of the pinky. If that is too hard for you, you can actually go. See how I just slid up with my pinky? Instead of. Same thing goes for here on the first one. That way it's not such a big stretch, if that helps you in any way. Now, if you can't do this thing where you're bending this 3rd finger back, you could conceivably, now I've never tried this, I'm up at the 11th fret. As long as you get that, a little harder to bring the melody out there. Okay, so all together, that's going to sound like this so far. Those are... Okay, that's what we got so far. Next, again, smush the 3rd finger. Okay. And now the arpeggio will be slightly different. We're on an F sharp minor 7 flat 5 chord. Okay. And then, okay. I'd like to just add that as we're going chord, chord, bang, 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 chord, chord. It's always the 2nd chord that's the chord of the song. So, for example, in this particular case, so the 1st chord is just decoration to kind of flip us into the right harmony. So this E7 flat 9 is just a springboard to get us into the main chord of the song, which is A minor 7. Right, then that last one, G major 7. Now I know I'm just sort of in a very outside the border kind of way describing jazz harmony. This is not a jazz harmony lesson. It's an arrangement lesson. So if you don't get this stuff, just keep in the back of your mind, the 1st chord is a springboard to just jolt us into the 2nd chord. Okay. So we left off, right? Then I do an F7. This is actually an F13 chord to be extra fancy. That's kind of a tricky chord if you can't bar with your pinky. but just give it a try. If you can't, you could do that. Just a straight F7 bar chord with the G on top. I do this. And again, we're not really hearing that string because I'm playing 3 strings here. Then when I get to the E minor chord, ideally I should go with the thumb. I don't always make the bass line. And then this chord is a substitute for an E7, which will then help propel us back into the A minor for the second 8 bars. So now that I've mapped all that out for you, I'd like to play this through slowly one time for you, once again, now that you have an idea of what's going on. Chick-it-to, those are... Let me show you these chords. Now usually when I'm standing, I can get a pretty good sound using the index and middle over here. But it's funny, sitting down, my hand's tilted, so I tend to use my middle and ring finger a little bit more. Doesn't matter, you could strum these. However you choose to play them is fine. So let's go on to the next video where I'm going to show you the second A section of the solo chorus. All right. All right, we're back. Now we're on the second A section of the solo on Autumn Leaves. And this musical idea is very closely related to what we did in the last video. The rhythm, just the structure, it's sort of almost the same thing. The melody that we're going to do is going to be a little higher and the chords are going to be a little lower, so it's kind of like the melody and chords switch places a little bit. The arpeggio that we're going to do instead of this low note up, we're going to try to come from a high note and go down. Let me show you what the notes are. First, in the first video we did those notes, as you'll recall. This we're going to do, starting at the 12th fret, we're going to do. That's the top of an A minor 9 chord coming down. And the rhythm that I'm going to try to play for you, it should sound like this, ideally. 1, 2, blah, belong, ball, be do, bomb. So we add a little line on. There, I got it. There are a few different ways with the right hand to finger this. You can do, I suggest getting your thumb ready on the D string. If you like doing middle finger, index, and then thumb, that seems to be working for me as I sit here. But very often live, when I'm standing, I'll do something where I'll play that note, crush up into it, and I might do some kind of finger drag. Because the main thing is that you nail these notes. And if the middle notes are a little bit murky, that's okay. It's just like blah, blah. See, top, bong. Okay. So in combination with this figure coming in that I showed you at the end of the last video, it'll sound like this. A 1, 2. Okay. Going to the next section, we're going to do A flat major 7 to G major 7, just one fret down. 1, 2, 3, bang, bang. Okay. Similar kind of phrasing, coming down a G major 9 chord. Those are the notes. Except we're going to phrase it. Okay. All together so far, a 1, 2. Next, that's how we're going to get into the bass. And then here's a kind of a nice little riff. Okay, that's a little bit complicated, easy for me because I've been playing that kind of riff for 20 years. Maybe not as easy for you, so I'll slow it down for you. That's how we get into the bass. And then second finger, 5th fret. Now watch this, stretching on the 5th string, 8th fret, 4th fret. All of that is a sort of a spiral dance to just get into that note. Okay. Okay, going further. Then watch this. Okay, so we're outlining all kinds of chords as we're playing this. That's our B7 chord. That's still B7, then we're on E minor. How about I play this entire second B section for you, nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Next section. One more time. Both of the solo sections together. Okay, so this is after those autumn leaves start. First A. So that is those were just both of the A sections of the solo section. Let's go to the next video. All right. All right. Well, we're almost home free. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit more of deviation from the melody for about 4 bars, and then for the end of this B section of the solo, we're going to finish the tune. Okay, so we've done the A sections in the last couple videos, and now the B section, we're playing a C9 sharp 11 chord. And then the rhythm that we're going to start out with, 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, so I do a drum fill there. I actually don't do my left hand over here. We go bump, 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 boom, back, bang. And so I usually hit the guitar up here. Let me show you what those chords are nice and slow. Bum, 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 B7, then the drum fill, then E minor. Again, you can just play just that with the pinky, pick and 3 fingers. Might want to strum that. E minor, 2 of those, and a B7. You can strum that, you can pluck it, however you want. One more time, let me just play that rhythm for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and bum, bum. Okay. Then we are home free with the way we did the bridge. With this E7 sharp 9. We've already done all of this. You know it. This is sometimes a nice spot, instead of the G major, to do another one of our Miles Davis kind of changes. So. Now, this last phrase, we're going to do this. I just played through that because it's basically the same as the bridge. We've done all that material. But this next phrase, we're going to do 3 times. Those autumn leaves start to fall. And I harmonize it a little different each time just to keep things interesting. We're going to do that in the next video. So what I'm going to do one more time is play you the top of the B section up until the point where that 3-time ending happens. Okay, so here we go. Once again, B section on the improvised chorus of Autumn Leaves. I'll go a little bit slower this time. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, and remember that Miles Davis change is optional. You could do this also. Just a regular G major with the harmonic. And so on and so forth. So this thing is optional. And you see that I'm in this situation right now doing it with the thumb pick, but usually I do it with the 3rd finger raking down the strings. So, except sitting, that feels a little bit better. Okay, so now let's go to the next video where I show you the 3-repeat ending and how we end the song. All right. All right, we're back. And in this video, I'm going to show you. All right, we're back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to end the arrangement. We've made it all the way through. And I'm going to do the last melody. We're going to tag it and repeat it 3 times. Okay. Now, the original melody, I believe, is those autumn autumn leaves start to fall. I'm going to kind of jazzify that a little bit. It's not going to be exactly the same as that. So what I like to do in this section is make the harmony just a little bit different each time. And I don't always play this the same every time, but what I'm going to do is present to you one way that I tend to do it. Okay, so the first time we ended on this C-sharp 7 chord on the last video. We're going to do a C major 9. Okay, so I'm barring. And those autumn. Now I like to do my F minor 7 flat 5, which I always play like this, but you can play it like that. Okay, and then or on a B7 chord. So that's the first time we do those autumn leaves start to fall. So well, I didn't show you this. Sometimes I bar there, and that gives me the C melody note. Well, not melody note, but harmony note, and I get a flat 9. And then what I like to do is I go ba, 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 ba. In time, it sounds like this. So, switch the bass. Ba-oo-bum. Now, second time, we're going to go a little bit different. G minor, bar the whole 3rd fret to C sus. So I'm thinking G minor 7, C7, slide the whole thing down, F, sharp minor 7, barring all the strings. Then I do my F7 chord. I do 2 of those. Okay, those. And now this time we're going to creep up to the C sharp. Right? Same thing. I know that sounds out of place right now. Now here's a kind of a cool one that I do. We change the melody. Watch. G minor 9. Then I go. So bass is going bum, 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 bum. Then we're going to go up to the 8th fret and do almost the same thing. And then an F7 chord to bring without the D string. Now, I know that doesn't really sound like much when it's so out of context. Let's just get the fingerings first. I'm going to play all these 3 back to back, okay? Just so you can hear what they sound like in context. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, after we get that, I do a quote from the Miles Davis record. We've been in swing rhythm. And then I do this rumba style bass line that sounds like this. F7 chord, and then the E minor chord. Let me do that rumba. I went a little too fast for you. Next. Okay. That's an F7. But we've got a flat 5 there. And then this nice big fat E minor 6 with a 9th. There's a couple different ways that I end this. I'm going to show you the way that I used to do it live, and that ends with a kind of a definite ending, is to stay in time on the F7 chord, and then when you get here, you strum on beat number 1 and then do 3 percussion clicks, and then we end with, or excuse me, I will demonstrate. 1. One more time. 2, 3, 4. It's actually 4 percussion clicks. How's about let's do all the material of this video, the 3 endings, straight on through till the end. Okay? Okay, that's a very nice ending with a bang sort of thing. If you want to do something mellower, you could do and just let that chord ring out. You're not required to do that banging thing. Alrighty, so that's Autumn Leaves. Let's go to the next lesson and do a recap of the form. All right. All righty. So, all right. Well, congratulations for making it through all of these Autumn Leaves lessons. In this video, I'm going to do a real slow playthrough and talk it down at the same time so that you have an idea of the form. I'm going to give you a brief summary without any playing right now, and then we'll get into playing so you can watch and listen. First, if you are feeling up to it, you can do the cascade harmonic intro to the intro, then the rubato intro, which is basically the B section of the tune. Then we start with the groove, and it's one time through the song. A section, 8 bars, A section, 8 bars, B section, 16 bars. Then we do a solo section for the next chorus through the tune. A section, solo. Another A section, solo. Each of those are 8 bars. Then we do the bridge, the B section. We play more improvised stuff for about 4 bars, and then we slip back into the tune melody. So that's 2 times through the song. Then we tag the last phrase 3 times, and then put our little rumba ending. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to start with the cascade harmonics. Intro to the intro. Intro, B section of the tune. right, so now we're at the top of the tune. We're going to start with the groove. I'm going to go a little bit slow. Okay, here we go. It was a mix. Okay, so you see, just even in that, I'm going to interrupt myself again. We have about 3 or 4 different possibilities of the way things could go with extra changes. So it tends to feel a little more improvised. Okay, bridge. Coming up on the solo. Second A solo. Bridge, or B. Back in the tune. Maybe. Three times. Second time. Rumba. Okay, that's it. So please make this your own and enjoy it, and make things easier, make things simpler. It doesn't need to be note for note. You can use this like square one for your arrangement. If it's hard to pluck a chord, strum it. If it's hard to play a left-hand thing, find a different chord. You know, this is a guideline. This is not classical music. The main thing that has to come across to your listener is the groove and the melody. That's what I always say. So from start to finish, we try to make a nice picture with this whole thing. So please don't get hung up on stuff that's impossible, because this stuff is very challenging for me as well. Don't think it's easy. Okay, so God bless. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Have fun practicing. See you for the next lesson. Take care. Bye-bye.